It began as one of those nights that feel completely harmless in hindsight. A warm summer evening, windows slightly open, the distant hum of insects outside. The kind of night where nothing bad is supposed to happen. The girl had gone to stay over at her friend's house, something they had done many times before. They talked for hours, lying in bed, whispering about school, relationships, trivial worries that felt important only because they were young. The clock on the wall ticked slowly toward midnight. When it finally did, they decided to sleep in the same room, like always. Nothing felt strange, nothing felt wrong. Sleep came easily at first, but sometime later, she never knew exactly when. The girl woke up with a strange sensation crawling over her skin. Cold. Not a breeze, not air from the window. Cold that seemed to exist inside the room. At first, she thought she was imagining it. Summer nights could cool down quickly. But when she exhaled, she froze. She could see her breath. Thin white clouds formed in front of her face, dissolving slowly into the darkness. Her heart began to beat faster. She sat up in bed, pulling the blanket closer. The room felt wrong, too quiet. No insects, no distant cars, no house sounds. Even her friend's breathing was unnaturally still. She swung her legs off the bed, deciding to grab another blanket from the closet. Her movements felt heavy, as if the air itself resisted her. Each step toward the closet felt longer than the last. And then, the closet door opened. At first, she thought it was a shadow. Then it smiled. A woman stood inside the closet. Long black hair framed a face that was unnaturally pale, skin white like chalk. Her eyes were bloodshot, red veins crawling across them, wide open and staring. She wore a white dress that looked old, stained, wrong. Her fingers were impossibly long, thin and crooked, bending at angles fingers should not bend. And she was smiling, not a human smile. A grin stretched too wide across her face, teeth barely visible as she silently laughed. The girl screamed. She screamed her friend's name. She screamed for help. She screamed until her throat burned. Her friend didn't move, didn't flinch, didn't wake. She reached for the light switch. Nothing happened. The room seemed to sink inward, the walls darker, heavier, as if the space itself had shifted into something else, somewhere else. The woman stepped forward. This was the moment the girl knew. This was not a nightmare. Dreams break when you fight them. This didn't. The woman moved slowly, gliding rather than walking, her feet never fully touching the floor. The temperature dropped further, cold crawling up the girl's legs, into her chest. Panic took over. She ran back to the bed and pulled the blanket over her head, squeezing her eyes shut. If I don't see it, it can't see me. She believed that. For a moment, something grabbed her leg, cold, so cold it burned. Her entire leg went numb instantly, as if blood had stopped flowing. She screamed again, kicking blindly. Her foot connected with something solid. The woman's chest. The force sent the thing stumbling backward. It fell. And what happened next was worse than anything she had seen before. The woman began to crawl, not like a person, like an insect. Her arms bent backward, fingers digging into the floor, body twisting unnaturally as she moved toward the closet. She climbed the inside of the wardrobe like a spider, her head turning completely around to keep her eyes locked on the girl, still smiling, still laughing silently. Her body began to sink into the clothes, dissolving as if the fabric were liquid. The last thing the girl saw were those eyes, watching, waiting. The room went silent. The cold vanished. The light flicked on by itself. The girl didn't move. She sat there until sunrise, staring at the closet, afraid to blink, afraid that looking away would let it come back. Morning finally came. Her friend woke up normally. The house was normal. Everything was normal. Except her. She didn't tell anyone. She said she had obligations. She left. She never stayed over again. But the nights didn't return to normal. She began waking up at night, cold sweat soaking her sheets. Closets terrified her. Dark rooms felt crowded. Sometimes she swore she could hear breathing where no one stood. Sometimes she smelled old fabric. Sometimes she felt fingers brush her leg. Years passed. The fear never did. She learned something that night. Some doors don't lead outside. Some closets aren't empty. And some things don't need permission to follow you. Because once you see them, they know where you sleep. She still sleeps with lights on. She still avoids mirrors at night. And she never opens a closet door slowly. Because she knows, if it opens again, something might still be inside.